Record.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome everyone to this very, very special webinar today. It's jam-packed in our Discord. It's jam-packed on this Zoom, and people are watching it not only here on on Zoom, but also other places. I know people are sharing this because this is a very, very, very cool thing that we're going to do right now. We have been working a long time, to find partners, to find new partners, and we have been looking many times and a long time at finding a company that can provide nodes and have good things related to games that that we can present and share with our Daxio community. And we have been looking for this a long time, since we started selling nodes for the other company we worked with, and sadly none of them have made the grade for a multitude of reasons. But most importantly, the integrity of the people behind the project is also something that we take very, very high notice of. The company that we're gonna share with you tonight is a very, very interesting project and a very interesting company. When Daxio was made aware of this company, and the name of this company we can reveal now, the name is called Element. And when we were aware of Element and we saw that Scott Loomy of the Discovery Channel's Jungle Gold was the president of this company, and Todd Hoffman was a brand ambassador, then we thought, wow, we need to really look more close into this this blockchain project and see what Element is really about. And the timing with our global event in Phuket allowed Chris Williams to take a trip over to our event, and he was there during the entire event, mingling with everyone that was there. And this also allowed him to experience in person what Daxio is really about, what people do on events, and how connected the Daxio members really are. Additionally, we could learn more about Element and what they can offer, and we spent some really good time together, and we had some really good talks about everything that that the Element project was about. But I'm not going to talk so much about this project myself, because we have some really good guests here. We have the president of this company here on this call. He's going to speak a little bit. We have the COO on this call. He also going to speak a little bit. And we have Chris here, still in Thailand. And I spent time with Chris today, actually, and we were watching the sunset together, talking a little bit about how to move on with this after this call. And it's going to be super awesome. We're going to put all the links out in the back office right after this call. And we have been giving away giveaways on our Discord all day long. And we're going to give away a lot of stuff on this call. And what we are giving away, I'm going to let the Element people share what we are going to give away to people on this call. So I'm not going to talk so much more, because there is so much information that we're going to get now from the correct people. So I want to introduce the president of Element, Scott Loomy. If you are here and you can figure out your microphone and
I am here. Thank you for
thank you.
We're very excited to be here. The funny thing is, you mentioned that you had been looking for a partner to work with, someone who's got a real project, someone that's trying to do real things, and so have we. We have been looking for a partner because we feel like anybody can sell nodes. Anybody can talk about the how important it is to be a part of the blockchain, the incredible opportunity that nodes provide. But we wanted to find somebody that had a community, that had the same vision that we do, that looks to solve problems, that looks to help other people, because we understand that what we've created if you can have the right mindset, if you start off with what problems can I solve, what people can I help, then everything else takes care of itself. And in our conversations with you over the past several weeks, we've just been so excited to see your vision, to see what your goals are, and to learn more about what your community is made of. And so that's been such a blessing to us to find you. And you also have previous experience with an associated group that we worked with as well. And we were able to talk about that experience. And what we're trying to do here is no small thing. Element United is trying to solve real world problems and do things that nobody has ever done before. We are confident that what we are doing and that what we're about to lay out for you guys today has never been done before, that you've never, there are similarities to what we do with other blockchains, but what we're about to lay out, mostly our purpose and our vision, has never been done before. And we're excited to be aligned with a partner that's got so many like-minded individuals, people who actually care, people who are ambitious, people who understand nodes, people who understand blockchain, because all these things can combine to do some very incredible things. And we are so excited. We are just over the moon to be associated with Daxio and with all the things that you guys are trying to accomplish. So I'm going to go ahead now and share my screen. Let's see. And we'll just go into what we're trying to accomplish with Element. So again, very excited about the Daxio partnership. We're confident that we're going to change the world, that we're going to do some incredible things working with the Daxio community. And I appreciate the introduction. We have put together a phenomenal team. So the agenda today, I'll talk briefly about our vision, our purpose, our origin, where we came from, the problems we're trying to solve. And then we'll hand off to David and Chris to talk more specifics about how we're going to accomplish. See, I get the easy part. I get to talk about the why and the origin, and then we turn it over to people who are smarter than me, David and Chris, to talk about how we're going to do that and how specifically that benefits the Daxio community. So, sorry, let me get so first, we always put a disclaimer up, even though we are very positive, we're optimistic. We know that we're going to do incredible things with this community. We always put up a disclaimer because you have to be honest, you have to be open. And if anybody comes promising riches with no risk, you need to run. We only need to be associated with projects that have real utility and that will be upfront and open with you from day one. So when we put up a disclaimer, it's not to scare anybody off. It's to be very transparent and open that there are risks involved in everything that you do. And anybody that says there are no risks, you should be careful of them, because there are risks in all we do, including everything that we do here. So our blockchain is focused on all in-ground elements, but primarily gold. We offer golden access, golden opportunity, but just as importantly, golden responsibility and golden community. Now, our founder, the founder of Gala, you guys may know who they are, is also the main owner and founder of Element. And he got his start in Bitcoin mining back when only the early adopters were dumb enough to do it, doing bit mining, and he made quite a fortune. And once he made his fortune in Bitcoin, he wanted to do things that created more utility for the blockchain. So he started Gala. And many of you on this call are very familiar with Gala. They were a top 50 coin last year on Coinbase. They do about 350 million in trade volume every day. And they're one of the top coins on the planet. Now, once again, he had success with Bitcoin and then success with Gala, he started to turn in his thinking and wanted to figure out what problems can be solved, what greater good, what greater benefit can the blockchain bring to the world. And as he thought this, I have known him for 20 years, and he saw that I had a mining background, and about a year and a half ago, he called me and said, listen, I know I watched your TV show. I understand that there are problems in the mining world. What can we do to help solve these problems? So we sat down for hours and hours, and we talked about what specifically the blockchain could do to solve certain problems while creating new opportunities. And that's really what it's about. If you can create new economic opportunities while solving problems and helping other people, then you've hit on something very unique, because very rarely are the two connected. So when we look at the different utilities and different solutions that our blockchain can solve, it only works if there are problems that are being solved and creating opportunities at the same time. So our purpose is to end destruction and exploitation while creating new economies at the same time. And if you look back in history at different companies, the most innovative companies, the ones who solve the biggest problems, whether it's in technology or agriculture or you name the industry, are the ones who've been the most profitable. Now, we aimed at Element to do the same thing. We understand that the bigger the problem we can solve, the bigger potential reward is on the other end. And a lot of people are not aware of the problems that exist in the mining world. And that's not to blame them. People just don't know. I'm sure there are many, many problems that exist in the world that I'm unaware of just because I haven't had that experience. So I want to share with you for the next couple of minutes how I came to know about the real problems that exist in this world and what we can do. So first, our mission is to digitize physical elements via the blockchain. These are all elements, not just gold. This could be jade, this could be silver, it could rare earth minerals. Dave is going to talk a little bit about a new partnership, a new relationship that we've just landed that has to do with rare earths. So we're going to bring technology to new frontiers. There are people out there in the world that don't even understand or know that blockchain technology exists and don't know how it can help them and their communities. We're also going to create new opportunities for wealth and help exploited communities to rebuild. So my name is Scott Lomu. I am the CEO and president of Element United. David Costello, who you'll hear from next, is the COO. And we'll also hear from Chris Williams, who's our CMO. So I've got mining, I've been all over mining. Anyway, you don't need to see my bio. David's just the more impressive bio anyway. He's had 800 people globally, represented over 75 billion in mining elements, owned and operated, SEC, FINRA registered hedge fund. So we have an amazing team with a lot of experience. These are some members of our team. Gabe Thane, who's our NFT director, of course, Chris, who you'll meet here soon. We've got Aaron Allens, our contact director. Kind of the person who holds this all together is Ali Sabato, our customer service. Adrian Thane is our eVault director, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. And Jack Gandolfo is one of our product managers. We've got an absolutely stellar team. Our board of directors is phenomenal. We won't talk about that today. We've also got our brand ambassador, who I met through Discovery Channel, Todd Hoffman. Now, Todd, as you guys all know, is probably the world's most famous gold miner. He's on the most famous show in the history of Discovery Channel, which was Gold Rush. He's the founder of that show. He came up with the concept, came up with the name, did everything. And you guys may have seen him mining. Discovery Channel airs all over the world. And Todd and I have the same vision because we have personally seen the same problems. In fact, if we're being honest, Todd and I have been part of the problem. The problems that we're trying to solve, when we look back, we think we contributed to the problem that exists out there. So what can we do to help fix that? Todd is a very God-fearing man. he's got a soul, he's got a conscience, and he's looking at the way the mining business has gone, and he wants to make some real changes in that. Of course, I was on Discovery Channel as well in a series called Jungle Gold. I'm the guy on the right. Now, I will admit, when I was in the jungle, I was a little thinner, a little tanner. So yes, that is me on the right. And I spent some time out there in Ghana mining for 5 years in the jungles of Ghana, trying to solve my own problems because I had been a successful real estate investor in the United States. And then when we had our big crash back in 08, 09, I lost everything and ended up in a series of unfortunate events. It landed me in West Africa gold mining. That would take 2 hours to explain, but needless to say, we ended up there, and Discovery Channel heard that these two white guys from America were in West Africa trying to mine without knowing how to mine. So they sent a crew out to follow us. And the guy, there's a show on Discovery called Locked Up Abroad, and he's the producer of that show. And he sat down with my partner and I at the end of the week after he was following us around the jungle. because they wanted to see if there was really a story here. And they sat down with us and they said, okay, I have filmed all over the world. I filmed in the most dangerous locations. He said, what I just saw you two do the last week, I've never seen before. And we're confident one of you is going to die, and we want to be here to film it. And so that was my introduction to Jungle Gold. But the introduction to Jungle Gold was the biggest blessing of my life. Now, even though the show ended in abrupt fashion because we got thrown out of the country by Ghana, we got robbed at gunpoint, we got shot at, we had to be evacuated. It introduced me to some very important things in my life. Number one, just how destructive mining can be. Number two, just the level of corruption that's in the mining world. And it also, because I had such worldwide exposure, people from all over the world were calling me saying, hey, I have a gold mine here. I have a gold mine here. You should come work here, bring the TV cameras. And so I was exposed to an unprecedented level of access, not only to people, but to gold mines and other mines in general. And I started to see just how shady and just how dishonest, and most importantly, just how destructive to humanity and the environment that gold mining can be. And so it sparked within me this realization that this can't be good. This is not sustainable. Also, I understood that mining has to happen. Every electronic device that we have, that we're watching this webinar right now, has gold in it. And so it leads to, how do we solve problems? How do we continue mining, but in a more responsible way? And how do we stop the most destructive mining? This is from Ghana. This is a picture of a river in Ghana. This is the aftermath of a gold mine. Miners have come in, mostly illegal from other countries. They've destroyed the town, they've destroyed the cocoa plantation, and they've destroyed the river. In this river is full of mercury because of the way the mining happens in Ghana. They use mercury to process the gold and they dump it into the river. This is happening all over Africa. It's happening all over South America. In fact, this is a picture from Peru. And if you've looked at anything that's happening in Peru, Brazil, Guyana, Colombia, the destruction that is happening to the environment just to get gold is astounding. And then when you hear about who is mining it and where the gold is going, it's even more alarming, because the most of the gold is being sent to other countries, China, Russia, and it's being stored in vaults. It's not being used to build electronics or to create value. It's just being stored in vaults, mostly for nefarious purposes, so that they can gain power. They can do all these things. So the Pope recently in 2018, went down to Peru, and he said that illegal gold mining it was one of the scourges of humanity. This isn't however your feelings are about the Pope. It's a worldwide epidemic that everybody recognizes, including us. Now, there are countries that are hoarding gold at a fantastic rate, an alarming rate. They make the gold reserves of every other country combined pale in comparison. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? No, because gold has value. But it is the way and the manner in which they are obtaining this gold at the expense of people, at the expense of economies, at the expense of the environment. And they are doing so with the express intent to change everything in the world, as far as everything from for example, right now, everybody knows you can only buy oil using USD. But because of the gold hoard of China, they're trying to convince the Saudi Arabians that they are more stable, therefore they should trade gold in the yuan instead of US dollar. They are changing and upsetting economies. But for us, the real thing is the problems that we have seen in the mining industry. They affect the individual. They affect people, villages, chiefs, and it's really sad. I used to watch these boys out in West Africa when they're refining the gold. They would get the gold down to a small quantity, and it's mixed with other metals, just before they refine it. And they would dump mercury in a bucket and wash it by hand. And then they'd stick it in a napkin to try to squeeze out as much mercury as they can by hand. And if they couldn't get it all, they'd put it in their mouth and suck it out and spit it into the river. Then they'd go into a little building and burn off the mercury from the gold, and they'd breathe in the fumes. It was heartbreaking. It was destructive. And we're trying to stop these problems because the problem is massive. When the Pope is talking about it and everybody else around the world recognizes the problem, it is huge. We don't want to stop mining. We need mining, but there is a massive portion that is destructive and that is ruining people and ruining the world. That is what we want to stop. These elements, they're only controlled by a few people. We want to create more universal access to the value and the accessibility to these elements. The environmental and community exploitation is unbelievable. Okay, there's a lot of corruption. When these illegal miners go into these countries, they're going through customs. When I was in Ghana, there were 25,000 illegal miners from other countries. They went in through customs. They didn't sneak across the border. So there's corruption on a government level. And gold hoarding by elite and powerful countries, again, is doing a lot of bad things in this world. So we believe at Element, no more exploitation. It's time for preservation. And the beautiful thing about this is that we are able to, through the blockchain, create incentives to end the exploitation. The problems with mining have been here forever, but there hasn't been an incentive for people to give a damn. Now, we at Element United have created an economy where you can run a node on your personal computer. That node contributes to helping us solve these problems. Percentages of all node purchases go to help us solve problems. We have to be able to create an economy so that I can go to Ghana, walk into a village, and convince the village and all the members of that village that it is more financially beneficial to them to stop the mining than to allow it, because it is the locals in South America and all over Africa that enable the illegal destructive mining. So we must create an economy that allows us to be able to provide benefits and opportunity to these people so that they will stop the destructive mining and be more incentivized to enter into this new economy that we're creating, to recognize the value of a digital asset over the physical asset. And if we can do that, then the gold will stay in the ground. Remember this, if you can create an opportunity for somebody that will make it more financially beneficial to keep the gold in the ground, it will stay in the ground. But we also create opportunities for those to mine responsibly, to be able to receive a financial benefit by fixing the ground, by reclamation, by sustainable mining techniques, by not exploiting people. And if we can offer them an incentive, then great. Also, finally, the incentive is to you guys, the node community. We need a broad node community. We need thousands of people who are buying nodes because we use those funds to help us accomplish our purposes. All of you who will be running a node will be receiving a digital reward, the Element token. That Element token needs to have value, and we only have value. We can't control it as a company. It's up to the community. The more people that we have running this node, earning the reward and using it for the many purposes that we've created, then we're going to be so much better for it, and we're able to solve a lot of problems. One of the most exciting things that we're going to talk about is how we are working on a program right now to where the Element reward that you receive can be exchanged for physical gold. So when you are mining on a node, you can potentially be earning actual physical gold, because we have partners who've been incentivized to produce gold in a way that's not going to harm other people. And they provide that gold to us in order to allow us to exchange it for physical gold. Now that's pretty creative. I get to mine digitally. The process of mining digitally helps me keep it in the ground while I receive a digital reward. So the node, obviously the software node, many of you guys, you're smart. You know crypto, you know what nodes are. We believe we have one of the most unique nodes ever created, because our node is solving problems while creating incredible opportunity for you. And there are many things that our node will do. We get the question all the time, Scott, what will my Element node be doing? And we're going to transition into that, what the Element node does now. And so I'm going to turn the time over to our COO, one of the smartest people I've ever met, David Costellar. And he's going to talk a little bit more about our node software and the different programs within the Element community. Prepare to have your minds blown. You're about to hear some things that have never been done in the node world. All right, David, are you
All
ready?
right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. And thank you everyone for being here. Scott's going to run the screen for us. So Scott, you just kind of follow along with me. Appreciate everyone joining on Sunday. I'm in my suit because after this I'm running to a church meeting. So thank you for that. And I'm excited to be here. Like Scott said, here at Element United, we are really doing something that is revolutionary. We want to verify assets and have the blockchain power and create an ecosystem that allows people to access those in-ground assets worldwide. And Scott, if you can just kind of go through on these, that'd be great. Like we said, digitize gold to decentralize. We have some very unique projects and departments we've created the Digitize, our NFT department, our eVault department, our gaming department, retail, and then humanitarian. Everything comes back to humanitarian for us. You know, Scott and I, when we met back 10 years ago, Scott was, I think it was 10 or 11 years ago, Scott was on Jungle Gold. He's a celebrity. Everyone knows who he was. It was very cool. And he came to me and said, David, we need some money. We need some funding. And I didn't feel quite right about it, but it wasn't because of, it was because what they were doing didn't align with how I saw it. I mean, a big long-term vision. That's where I like about Element is that we've created something that affects so many people and can really change the world. And so when we look at digitizing elements, well, what does that mean? You're taking a physical in-ground element and you're putting it on the blockchain. How do you do that? Well, that's the first thing, the first step that we had to figure out. And if we go through this, we're going to tell you about what we're doing, because the first thing is this scanning technology. We've got a partnership now with this in-ground asset scanning technology that allows us to scan in the ground, and we're able to know which areas of the ground are highest probability for certain elements. So what we do is we pair that with a geological survey. Now there's something called a 43-101 report. And here's an image here. So we take a mine and you do core drilling samples all over the whole mine. I mean, it'd be thousands, and these cost many millions of dollars to do. So we know a gold mine is there, we suspect it's there. We can do a digital scan, verify, and then we do core samples to further verify. Then we take that, we split it up into parcels, and we put each parcel through a digital representation or NFT right onto the blockchain. So now we've actually taken an in-ground asset and put it right onto the blockchain through a NFT verification system with our blockchain. So it's very, very cool. And that's how we verify and digitize the mines. And here's an example based on where the high value, high rarity of the gold is and how they're actually put right onto the blockchain. So this is really cool, guys. I think we're the first and the only company that I know of that's actually doing it. And we made a special announcement just last week or 2 weeks ago, right, Scott? I think 2 weeks ago. We announced that our first mine actually signed on to Element, and they pledged all their assets, $103 billion, onto the Element blockchain. Now, this is big news, guys. This is really big. So we commenced, and we actually have several now, that we have commenced to stop mining, to digitize their mines, and put them onto the Element blockchain. And we've got another one that I'm going to announce right now. We just barely signed this last week. This is a huge jade mine in Canada. This is a $40 billion asset. It's got a full 43-101 report. We've been working on this mine for, I think it's about 2 months, right, Scott? 2-3 months in negotiations, trying to figure this out with them. And they finally agreed, and they understood what we're doing. And Scott always makes this point. What are these mines getting? They're getting nodes. they see the value in the node network that we're building. And so they agreed to stop mining in exchange for nodes. And that's the power of what we're creating. That's really nice for us, everyone in the ecosystem here, because they can see very quickly that there's real value that is being created with the element ecosystem. And I posted this image here of this jade mine because, you know, jade and granite and slate and some of these big rocks and these other elements that are being mined, we don't think a lot about sometimes. You always think about gold and silver, but they're very destructive and they hurt the environment dramatically. The ecological impact of some of you're actually digging right into a huge mountain or a rock deposit that causes major problems. The diesel, the environmental impact going in and out of these areas is huge. And then also just that there's not a lot of oversight in some of these places and people are getting hurt. And Scott mentioned the problems, how we're trying to stop corruption, we're trying to stop exploitation, we're trying to stop harmful mining with the environment. And that's what we're trying to do. And this is why even these mines that, well, maybe people aren't thinking about jade or granite, they actually have a major impact. So right now we have over $550 billion of mines that are in development, ready to be put onto the blockchain. There are different phases, up to trillions. Now I say up to trillions because we have, right now we have 4 governments that we're working with. And this is big news, guys. Our final roadmap piece that we have on our project roadmap is international mining pacts, changing the way countries and corporations are doing mining. So there's a mining standard that's set. We know that, hey, when we buy a new phone or you buy a computer, that the nickel, the lithium, the iron, the gold, the silver that's in those components, in those computers, was mined responsibly. And so we're excited about this because it shows that people do really care. Maybe they don't understand, but they care about changing the way people are using the elements of the earth and how many people are being affected. Similar to the Kimberly report. This just mentions our goal. Our goal was to have 200 billion assets, right, Scott? But we're already at 193. So I think our goal needs to go up a little bit more for this year. It's really exciting for us because when you have a company that's doing something so revolutionary, before you begin, you kind of wonder, am I going to be able to convince these people to do what I want to do? And by having these minds come on board shows us that, yes, they understand, and yes, they see the benefit, and what we're creating can be major big and can actually have a huge impact worldwide. This is our NFT side, and Chris is going to go into a little bit more detail about our NFTs. So I'll just touch on this briefly. But when we digitize a mine, we will create individual NFTs for each of those mines. Now we're in phase 1. This is a phased approach. So let me just remind everyone of that. Phase 1, NFTs will be a certain way, and then they'll slowly improve as we go forward. But the idea that we have with the NFTs is that we can take that digital representation, the 43101, and then we can have individual NFTs around those mines. So we might have a mine in Ghana. We've got several in Ghana we're working with. And we might have NFTs that are around the Ashanti tribes or around something in Ghana that's specific. And then we have a mine in South Africa. We might do something different there. We have a mine in Canada. We have Alaska. We have some in Southeast Asia and Europe even. So the idea is that each NFTs, the representation will be unique, but they'll actually be tied to the unique individual mines as well. Scott, so let's talk about I think it's carbon credit potential here. Now, carbon credits are interesting. And we're navigating right now. How do we actually have a representation or a value for the carbon credits on those NFTs? Now imagine, so you buy an NFT and you know you're supporting a great cause and you're doing all these things. But what if you could have actual real cash value come back to you because there's a carbon credit tied to that NFT? That's what we're trying to do. Because when we stop a mine from being mined, we are having major ecological and environmental impact for good. And so we're looking at, we just met with a group that works with the UN, and there's some groups in the EU that are very big on carbon credits and how to actually implement these. But the idea is we can take carbon credits and actually tie them back to your individual NFT, providing real utility and value to those NFTs. So we're very excited about this. It is the solution here. I mean, we hit every step here on the carbon credits. This right here is, we want to talk a little bit about taking personal physical assets and digitizing them. So up to this point, we've talked about the in-ground assets, gold, silver, mercury, whatever it is, copper, all the elements, and digitize them. Well, the concept came to us of, it was actually one of the largest jewelers in the world. And if I said their name, everyone here would know who they are. They came to us and said, we want to create NFTs around our jewelry that's being sold. And we said, okay, that's an interesting concept. And we said, well, here's what we're doing with gold and silver, where we want to actually track the gold and silver from the source all the way back to the jeweler. And then they said, okay, great. And then let's take it from the jeweler to the customer, and then the customer to, as they sell it, and it goes out from there. And so this is the idea of the eVault. And the eVault is really, it's an ownership verification system. It's a tracking system, so you know exactly where your ring came from, where your watch came from. So let's say you go buy a Breitling or a Rolex or something, and you have that, you have the physical representation of it, but then you also get the digital representation on the Element blockchain. And it allows you to track where it's going, and or where when it's being serviced, if you give it to someone, how that digital representation and the physical asset goes along. And that can stop a lot of the problems we have with jewelry and assets being stolen, because we have a digital and a physical representation of them. So it's really cool. Let's see, Scott, if we have, I think we have just a quick little image here. Let's go to the next slide, Scott, about our browser game. And I'm just going to touch on this highlight real quick, because the idea here, you guys know about gaming really well. And Chris, who you'll hear from in just a moment, Chris is a real professional gamer. He understands the gaming space very well. And we organize this concept of, how do we take the NFTs, the mines, and how do we integrate that into a really cool browser game? And so Chris is going to go into this a little bit more. But the idea is that we are going to have a gaming aspect here that's going to be exciting. Now, as you know, our founder, he was one of the founders of Gala. Scott and I are in initial conversations to see if, hey, maybe there could be some sort of collaboration there with them. And nothing's set yet, so I don't want you to jump on and say we're Element United is doing something with Gala, because that's not happening. Well, I just want to say that we're in initial discussions. Could that happen? Maybe. We hope so. I think there'd be some real benefit there. We understand there's this awesome company called Daxio that does some great games too. So maybe there's something there too, right, Frody? I mean, that's part of the discussion as well. But the mobile mining, the metaverse game, this goes so well together with what we're trying to do, where we actually will have real mines and real assets. How cool would that be if we could go to Tanzania virtually on a mine, and we can have a game around a real mine that we actually own and represent? How cool would that be to then take it to Alaska and do a mining expedition in Alaska virtually through a real mine? And then as node owners, we do a node convention where we actually go directly to the mine in Tanzania. And then we go to the mine in Alaska and integrate the digital with the physical. That's what we're doing. We're solving problems by taking digital and physical and bringing it together through the power of blockchain. This was actually all Scott. I'm not taking any credit for this one. We did a treasure hunt here locally with a company. We said, okay, look, we'll sponsor the money and a little bit more to get this treasure hunt going. And it blew up. Everyone was excited. They thought, wow, this is really cool. And so then we started developing with our team, okay, how do we integrate treasure hunts? Now, we thought before about geocaching and hiding gold around. The whole idea here is that by using the fun and the excitement of treasure hunts and the allure of geocaching, we can create real awareness for what we're doing within the Element United ecosystem. And yeah, there'll be cash prizes. If you own nodes, you might have different benefits. And if you own NFTs, you have different benefits. There's a lot of cool tie-in. And there's some integrations with like Pokemon Go type software where we can go to different areas. Our developer, actually, our NFT and eVault manager, his name's Adrian Thane. He actually developed a game around this. And think through, guys, with gaming, the first games that were ever really caught on computers had to deal with digging gold, finding emeralds and treasure. And so it really is right in line with what we're doing with Element. It's having global treasure hunts throughout the world. And how fun would that be if we have a treasure hunt in Bangkok, one in London, one in Paris, one in Oslo, where we are actually going through and we're finding treasure, we're getting communities together. And it doesn't necessarily have to tie in directly with Element, but it ties into the mission of Element of raising awareness around how gold is being used for good and bad, and how we can decrease and stop the bad and really just push forward the Element United mission to end exploitation and destruction. So we're excited about this. We have a project overview. I just got the final design back and we're doing one last draft. I'm hoping we can release this week, and everyone in the Daxio community, we will release this to you first. We want to have a lot of benefit for being a part of the Daxio community, because we are really excited about what you're doing. Frody and Rocco have been fantastic, and I just want to mention that their leadership is awesome. I've done a lot of international business and seen many companies, and it's great to see such good leaders I mean, they're just great. They've got a great community, and thank you all for being here. So our project overview. Chris Williams is going to talk a little bit about our NFT project, and he's going to tell you about how you can get involved with buying nodes and getting nodes yourself and become part of the ecosystem. We are excited to be here. We've got a real mission, a real project, real utility. We're not just creating something to make money and go away. We have a long-term vision, and we plan on really maximizing what we can do using blockchain technology. So thank you all. And let me turn the time over to Chris. Chris is a fascinating, awesome person to be on our team. We're so excited to have him. He has done a lot of different business, and Frody's been with him for the last month. He's gotten to know him as he's been there in Thailand. And Chris has a great way of articulating and explaining what we're doing in a different way. And Frody can probably speak to that. But so let me turn the time over to Chris to wrap things up here. And we're excited for all of you to join our team. And thank you, Frody.
We're trying to identify Chris because we have several Chris's in here today. So it's a little bit challenging to find the right Chris.
Yes. Well, when there's 1,000 people, let's see, I think.
Yeah, well, while you're looking for him, I just wanted to make another point about the treasure hunt. This is going to be the clues and the verification will all be done in the blockchain. So when we talk about our purpose and what we're trying to accomplish, a lot of people naturally say, okay, well, what does your blockchain do? between our eVault, which is going to be verifying from in-ground asset all the way to the customer, those NFTs can store warranty information, repair information. We'll be doing a lot of verification there. We'll also be doing the treasure hunt that'll be done through the blockchain. So a blockchain verified treasure hunt, which is, I think people would like that concept, because the whole community gets to verify whether somebody actually solved a clue or not. And so it's not just bringing awareness to what we do, but, you know, in all my days of mining out in Ghana, I understand that gold fever, I understand that desire to get out there and hunt and find treasure. And we wanted to bring that feeling to you guys in a way that is non-destructive. Everybody has this thing called gold fever, and they want to get out there and just dig and find, you know, back to the old, you know, gold rush days. Well, we're going through a digital gold rush, and we wanted to create a product that allows everybody to participate in this new digital gold rush while looking for actual treasure, but solving a problem at the same time. And so some of the things we'll be giving away are nodes. And in the process of a node, you have to explain what a node is. So now the world gets to understand, by joining this free treasure hunt, what a node is and why we need it, why the world needs this node, how they can benefit from it, and how a purchase of a node benefits these marginalized people. And all at the same time, having some fun and finding, you know, let's just say the prize was 100,000. Well, if you're a node owner and you find it, the reward can be doubled. So we've got all these creative ways. It's the same thing with our game. The games that we're developing are designed to get tens of thousands of people mining digitally so that we don't have to mine physically, but being rewarded with something that replaces or represents the value of the gold. So it's just the tie-ins between creating these free, fun things for people to do while solving problems is really what's the unique part about Element United. And we're excited to have like-minded people, and the Daxio community for us is perfect. So.
Well, and Chris, to that,
can you
or
hear me
Scott,
okay?
to that,
Testing
Scott,
one,
to that
two, one,
point,
two.
We got Chris, he's here.
we got
Can
Chris
you hear me
on. That's
okay?
great. Let's go, Chris. Let's hear it
Yeah,
and,
let's
and
do it.
wrap this up here.
Can you hear me okay?
We
Yep.
got you.
All right, Frody, thank you for finding me. I should have put my last name. Sorry to make that hard. I'm actually here still in Phuket. I'm just close by Frody here. We got to watch the sunset together. So I'm just on my laptop here. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got to attend your event, the Daxio event. And I should tell you how this all came together real quick. We have a lot of people that want to work with us. As Scott said, you know, we're not too concerned about node sales. Like, it's been happening really well already. And I have a list of people that have wanted to reach out to us. But Rocco reached through the void and summoned me to respond to him. Okay. I could not say no to Rocco. Literally, he summoned me to Phuket. He's like, Chris, you're coming to Phuket. I'm like, okay, Rocco, we're doing it Phuket. So it's just one of those things that just feels a bit magical to come here and be at your event and see all these great games, and they're spinning the fire dancers and we're having fun, and there's 1,000 people at this event. And so it just was this unbelievable energy. And I just came right into it. I literally met Rocco, and 3 days later I was at the event. So I'm still catching up to all the stuff that Daxio is doing and your community. By the way, it's one of the best fireworks shows I've ever seen, sitting outside with the Daxio community there. Got to meet a bunch of the different team members, and I thought Cryptopia looked amazing. Boxing Boys, your arcade game that's coming out looks great. So, I mean, you know, your SDAX just went live. So we're catching you guys with a huge momentum curve here. And that it's just, the timing has just felt really perfect. So I know it's been stressful for Frody and Rocky with all that stuff going live. So I appreciate you guys taking the time. So I'm going to bring us to the finish line here. Thank you for sticking with us. To make sure that everyone is very motivated to come to this, we have committed to giving 200 of our light nodes and then 2 of our full smart nodes. So Frody and the team has already been giving out those. So if you're one of those lucky winners, congratulations. We'll be giving out the rest of those, and we'll work with you on the back end, and we can help you in our Discord as well to set those up and make sure you get those. So thanks for sticking there.
Chris, why do they want a node? Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so the node technology is interesting because people are familiar with nodes. Ours is very unique because if you heard at the beginning of the call, our owner that did Gala Games, we were able to get access to the source code of the Gala Games node, and that was given to our team of engineers. We have a huge engineer team. Scott and David are there at the office in Utah. They can give you a tour at some time. It's what, David, 50,000 square foot building. There's something like 100+ engineers there working on all different kinds of projects and things and developing our node technology. So when you just see us three here, there really is a big team and a lot of power behind this node being developed. And the newest version of the node, it's called New Core, will be live in less than maybe 60 days, 90 days. So we're catching you guys at a really good time. And so what happens is we have these mines and we have this node technology. And the question is, what do you do with it? And you heard them say that one of the big elements is we want to create new games, new economies. And so the Daxio community is really important to that because we know you have this real large user base. It's something like 73,000 people. So that's very exciting to us as we have NFT projects, browser games. We have a mobile iOS game that we're looking at. You heard about the treasure hunt game. And so I'm going to talk about those a little bit, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about the node power. Every 6 hours that you run that node, you are given element rewards. It goes right into your wallet. For providing that uptime and providing that availability for us, we want to reward you. And so our goal is to create an entire worldwide network of node holders to power these new products that we're developing. And the nodes are going to have use cases. So we're looking at how to integrate the NFTs, the marketplace, the browser game, parts of our mobile game. We're going to integrate those into the node. So the node isn't just going to be a reward distribution tool. It's also going to be a technology tool to power our products. You heard Scott mention the treasure hunt game, and David, we're going to use our nodes to track the treasure hunt game, right? So the node is not just going to be there to give you rewards. It's really going to be there to power our products, and we need more node holders. It's not necessarily about the money coming in as much it is as you being a node holder and powering our network. So I'm going to share my screen and just show you a couple of things here. Let me see if I have some screen share power here. Desktop one. Okay, I might not go full screen because you guys already showed some of these, but the interesting thing about the NFT project is those of you that have been involved with NFTs know there's a lot of computer generated RNG, the random number generator. And so you heard our team talk a little bit about what makes ours unique is that we are able to use those in-ground reports and the geological studies to influence the rarity components of that NFT project. So I really wanted to highlight that part because that really makes this unique in the sense that the NFTs you're getting are tied to a real asset. I had a chance to meet some of the Cryptopia team. They were talking about a metaverse play. So I got to meet with Frank and Matt while I was here in Bangkok, got to sit down with them in dinner. And we talked about the Jade Mine. You heard David just announce the Jade Mine. Cryptopia has different things they're doing with jewelry making and things you can make in the game. And so we already talked about bringing maybe our Jade Mine into their metaverse. Now, nothing's finalized. It was just a preliminary conversation. We're going to join them in a, whatever it is, the Twitter space. We're going to do a call with their team. But I can already feel the Daxio partnership already taking off. Like literally, we're talking like 2 days later, we're already talking to, Cryptopia and their amazing metaverse that they've been working on the last 4 years or whatever, and possibly bringing one of our mines in there. And so that's what Daxio does for us, is it gives us access to real gamers, real use cases, people that know this stuff that can get involved and give us feedback to guide this. You heard David say an important point. We are just getting started. These are all in phase one, all right? We are so early. We're like 6 months into this, talk to Frody. He made a post about how many sleepless nights and hard work. He said it took 4 years to get to here, So we are so early and these are phase one. And so you have to understand that when you come into a project like this is we're already moving so quickly. The node technology, the products, to be this far in 6 months is pretty crazy. To be getting mine partners this quick is pretty crazy. So the browser games, I think what Daxio is going to like, our games are geared towards people that is going to be easy for them to do. You saw a little of the user interface where people are able to bring their NFT into the browser game and do things like upgrades and interface with the marketplace. The reason this browser game is really powerful is it will combine all of our mine and NFT collections and have a place to bring them all. So you heard David talking about the additional mines. As we bring on additional mines, the browser game becomes more powerful because it becomes influenced by more mines. An important distinction about the mines is Element United is committing nodes to fuel the NFT project. So we've already committed to giving a certain amount of nodes per NFT collection, and all of the rewards that come from those nodes will go into a pool that will be given to the NFT and browser game owners. Now that's pretty awesome. So not only is it you have a really long roadmap and a bunch of cool things happen, the NFT project and a browser game, you are going to get element rewards for owning an NFT and interacting with the browser game. I think that's a really awesome part. The other thing is this treasure hunt game, here at one of our team members is there's a way to do this both digitally and in local events and use our node technology and our blockchain to really track and keep track of that. I got to meet some of your developers and started to talk to them about our games, and they just started filling me with ideas. Playable NFTs and 24-hour rotating things. They're just dumping on me idea after idea. I finally had, it's like, I think it was Avi, I bet with one of your developers, and it's like 2 hours of him just going at me with idea after idea after idea. That's funny. I was like, dude, I'm full. Okay. You've given me way more ideas than I could have possibly done. So once again, Daxio, this partnership is just giving us so much benefit. And where I think the most benefit right now is we know that you 1,000 on this call have a large network of people that you work with. And so the incentive is if we can help you catch our vision and see these products, this is the NFT project. It's called Gold Crew Alpha, powered by Element United. So this is, a little bit of the artwork we're working on. These are like our first phases of, this is, the roadmap has 3 major pieces. This is the avatar that's being developed. And then based on that avatar, you're also going to be able to get a rig. So the avatar will go in a rig. And then the third part is an actual land sale involving the mines. And keep in mind, throughout that entire roadmap, our nodes will be filling the pool with rewards that will distribute out to people that own that. So the point I wanted to get to is if you come here to our website, element.com/partners, you'll see that Daxio is the first partner on here. These are some of our other companies we work with, but really Daxio is our first formal partner. And David's being very generous in what he just told you. That information about the jade mine, and we have an additional gold mine, nobody knows that. And so we talked about this and said, we want Daxio to have first stab at this. We want your community and your teams to have the first opportunity to jump on this information, because we're going to release this now. We've had a lot of people waiting to jump into Element to see if we could really get a mine. All of that product stuff sounds good, but are you really going to get a mine to stop mining? It sounds crazy sometimes when we tell it to people, why would they stop mining? So the fact that we got an actual mine to sign to us, and David, maybe you can, if you want to tell them this, but we actually are going to work towards owning a piece of that. Can you clarify that one piece, David, about the ownership piece or?
Yeah, so just briefly, guys, we actually, all the mines that we're announcing right now, we actually own a piece of, a significant piece of. So that's really cool as well, because then we actually have say in what happens. And as we stop mining there, well, what do we do with that? And how does that benefit the ecosystem? So yeah, we have ownership in that.
So that's a huge deal, because now we have assets on the book, and that gives Element more power to attract additional mines and other things that are happening there. So the point I'm getting at is we know these 1,000 on this call here have a big network, and we want to help you help us with our vision to spread our mission, and by creating an international node network, right? And so we're going to be releasing materials to help you do that. David and Scott were in the video studio filming. We have our explanation document. We have our Discord. We're going to do a lot of things to really help the Daxio community be able to help and share in our vision. So the first step of that was to create a Daxio partnership page. So we've got a little blurb about Daxio. The second thing we've done is if you go to elementunited.com/Daxio, you'll see that we've created an actual landing page for the Daxio community. So we've got some stuff about our partnership there, a little bit about the nodes. You can come in here and fill this out, Daxio community sign up. Referred by is, Daxio. We're going to work to possibly change this to like your Daxio sign up name, so you don't need to worry about this too much. You will have to fill out some terms. You heard Scott at the very beginning with our disclaimer. My dad's a lawyer, and I feel very comfortable in the fact that we are following every rule. We are following everything possible to be as long-term as we can and do this right. And so part of this is you will have to agree to quite a few terms and conditions. Once you sign up for this, elementunited.com/Daxio, you will be brought into a dashboard. All right. And this entire backend dashboard is one of the things that's being worked on with our new core node launch that will be happening late October, early November. So it's happening very, very quickly. Is this entire backend is being upgraded. It's going to be easier to use, easier to track. This is currently legacy system, as they call it, that was used part of the kind of the whole source code I mentioned with Gala Games and that node and backend. And so this is all the legacy system that will be upgraded shortly. So what you're going to want to do here is we have two types of nodes. The light node is really a kind of just a bit of a dip your toe in the water. We wanted to give access to everybody. And so the light node is actually 1/100th of a full node. So if you are interested in really getting benefit from the element node, the smart node is really the only way to do that. The light node will provide some rewards, but nothing compared to what the actual smart node will do. When you come in here to buy this node, you'll see that its starting price is $2,500. I've recorded some videos on how to buy this, but I think the Daxio community is pretty familiar with, purchasing Ethereum and doing exchanges. When you come in here to buy this, you'll be given a temporary code. You put in the quantity, and you'll be given a temporary code. I have to do all the term of service. You'll be given a temporary ID, or sorry, a temporary address that you're going to transfer those funds to, right? And luckily, I don't want to fill it all out here live, but luckily Frody had just done this right before, and he said it was working good. So we're having no problems on our back end. So you fill this out, you put your email and all that stuff, and you'll be given a wallet address, and that's what you're going to be used to transfer the funds for the node price. Now, the node price is set at 2,500. We've already sold close to 3,000 nodes, and we were supposed to raise the price, but because of the market and the mines not signing and our new node technology not live yet, we decided not to raise it. So we're already under heavy pressure to raise the price. And now with the Daxio partnership and these huge mines coming on board, not to mention Scott, actually, before he was doing all this, was out on the circuit. He has so many contacts in all these different spaces. And then with our Todd Hoffman, our brand ambassador, none of this has been released to the public. So really Daxio is getting the first dibs on this before we release all this information. So if you are concerned about the price going up, it's going to happen. It already should have happened. We don't have a specific date, but based on the 1,000 people jamming in here and the mine announcement going out, we expect this price to go up very shortly. So the price will never be smaller. The second part about our tokenomics that's very unique, not unique, but just interesting, is the first year of token distribution will be the largest. So if you're interested in getting the node at the smallest price and getting the most early element rewards tokens that you can, this really is the only moment to do that. It's going to go quick. The price will go up. We'll start giving people rewards in their wallets. Like I said, when the new node software goes live here shortly. So really want you guys to understand that, because we want Daxio to succeed. And we know that you have large communities and people that you work with, and whether it's your downline or your community and people that you're working with. And if you're liking our mission, then we want to invite you to purchase a node and help us share our mission. As part of that, we are going to give everybody that buys a node today, we're going to give you a whitelist access to our NFT project. We expect that to sell out. We already have a large community ourselves that are committed to buying these NFTs and supporting the project. So we already are looking at selling that project out very early. And so if you buy a node today, we will add you to the whitelist that gives you access to the NFT project we're doing. Keep in mind, those NFTs are going to pay out Element as well. So the only way to get Element rewards and tokens currently are the node and then the upcoming NFT project. That's it. We're not on an exchange yet. It's not, that's happening soon. We're working on that. But if you're interested in the Element reward, those are the two ways to get it.
Chris, thank you. Let me just add one thing, just so everyone's clear. Our nodes we're still in pre-launch, everyone. So our nodes like Chris said, they will go live end of October, beginning of November. So you'll buy it now in pre-launch, and once it's ready, we'll notify everyone and we'll turn those nodes on. So now's the best time to get in because it is pre-launch. So
yeah,
just want to make sure everyone's clear with that.
About nodes and the tokenomics of it, it is getting in early. You want your nodes ready when we flip the switch, because like Chris just said, that is the optimum distribution is in year one. And the fewer number of people that have nodes, the higher distribution. And so, it sounds like it's a sales pressure thing. It's not. It's just reality. The price absolutely is going up. The node price will never be cheaper than it is today. And the maximum value for your daily distribution is right when we go live. So we are in pre-launch. If everything was perfect and there were no bugs, then you've already missed the boat. So there are certain benefits that you get from pre-launch, but there are certain things that you should know. Everything's not going to be perfect, but we're confident enough that we have released this information to you guys first. We're ready to go in our pre-launch. And so your node will not be giving you a daily reward yet, but by the end of October, we should be live. And that's when the fun begins. But getting your place right now and purchasing your node is the most important thing that you can do now. Like Chris mentioned, we've sold a few thousand nodes without any announcement. It's mostly, if we're being honest, I can say this because it's a fact, it's mostly the Gala community that started buying our nodes because they heard, because we have the same common owner. We haven't had any presentations to the Gala community. We have no ties to the Gala community, but they've just heard through the grapevine about this new project coming on board, and they've been jumping in and buying nodes. You guys are the first group that we've had any affiliation with such types of announcements. There is another smaller group that is also associated with Gala that we've been talking to as well, but nothing to this level. I mean, you guys, we are very excited to have you guys on board just because of the like-mindedness, your leadership, most importantly, and the commonality that we have in wanting to solve good while taking advantage of a pretty amazing technology with the upside that could be excellent. Obviously, for those of you who have been involved in Gala, you know what happened. We're not saying we're going to have the same success. We can't promise anything like that, but we have no debt. We fork the same technology. We've got incredible leadership and ownership, and we like our chances. And we hope you guys like our chances too. And the most validating thing for us is that all these gold miners who have all these billions of in-ground assets have chosen to join the Element ecosystem instead of mining. And that's been such a great validation for us.
Scott, what's that URL that we set up?
elementunited.com/Daxio.
The DAXIO. One last thing, I want to pass it back to Frody. So you've got our amazing node technology. You've got the NFT launch, the browser game. You have the eVault system. We have our treasure hunt game. We have our metaverse play. So we have active product development happening now. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, in the future it's going to happen. These things are all being worked on. We have team members assigned to them. They are in active production. The mines have signed the agreement. So if you're catching this literally, we've had a lot of people sitting on the fence, like, are you going to actually find someone to start the development? Are you going to actually get a mine to sign, right? That is happening. So once again, this will be the time to join. I'm over in our Discord. We'll get our link over there if you want to come in and create a ticket or come ask us a question or whatever you're interested in. I'm happy to do that. I'm in the Daxio Discord as well. So I'm going to be chatting with you. I think we're going to get a room in there and I can answer questions and things like that. So I'll be active there. And then I want to pass it back to you, Frody. I want to just get the Gala Games thing out of the way a little bit because Scott was talking about it. That's really what kind of got the attention of everybody. And I know that Rocco and Frody had a really good experience with Gala Games. And when I was at the event, I think it was Rocco that was up there. Frody was like, who here missed the Gala Games thing? You know, who here wish they could have still got a node with Gala Games, you know? And so you guys are living it and you can talk about it more explicitly because you saw what happened and you saw the results of it. So I don't know, Frody, maybe we can pass it back to you. And
well, I think we can be bigger and better. I mean, we're doing a lot more expansive, honestly.
Yeah, I know. So Frody, I'd love to, to maybe take us home here. I appreciate you giving us the time and letting us come on the call here. And I'm really going to be sad leaving Phuket. David actually was out here for 2 years as part of a church mission. And so he speaks really good Thai. So we would love to come out to one of your events. I told Scott, Scott, you want to come to Thailand? Yes, of course I want to come to Thailand. So we'd love to come out to your next event. I told him how amazing it was. So if all things go well, David, I, and Scott will be at your next event. And
how have we not had David speak some Thai on this call?
Yeah, David, hit it. Give him something.
Yeah,
Hindiพูดภาษาไทยยังไงก็ได้ครับผม
There you go. Yeah. So anyway, Frody, let's pass it back to you. Thank you for giving us the floor. And if you want to just maybe talk a little bit about that Gala Games thing, whatever, that's up to you. But Just
Yeah, no, but you know, when you guys said that during pre-launch, you know, you have come a lot more further than what Gala had when we were talking with them about potential partnership. You know, they were 4 humble people when we started discussing with them back then. So and they have grown to be very big, right? So so it's like for us, it's super powerful to be part of and partner with you guys in this way we have done now so early, right? And it gives our community a perfect advantage also, because we're growing fast, you know, we're rolling it out fast, and we have been in pre-launch for 4 years, you know. We just launched now, you know, after we put everything live now on the blockchain. We have our own tokens, our governance token is live, people are trading, it's changing hands. It's very good to watch and follow. I'm super excited about it. And when we spoke before the event, you know, about this this game that you guys have, you know, this treasure game and all these things that you can do with that, you know, I still see in my head, you know, the next event here, we run around with our mobile phone digging virtual gold here in Thailand, you know, it would be super cool. So there's so many things we can do, and also, as you mentioned too, combining all of this with mining, simulating mining in Cryptopia, for example, like you talked about, and there's so much things we can do together, and this is everything that Daxio is about, you know, to bring together the best you can find and share it out with everyone, and helping each other, and everybody's helping people get a better life and doing good things. So we're super excited, especially me. I'm super excited. I think the members that are on this call are going to be super excited as well after this, and all the giveaways that we're going to do now, you know, the nodes everybody's going to get. Yeah, it's been awesome. And the way you have shared now the vision with your company here, with David and Scott, and everything here, you know, it just fills up even more to the power of the knowledge that you guys have on what you're doing with this element project of yours. So I want to thank you all for coming to our call, and I think we maybe should end this call so people can start to sign up on the Element website there to reserve their nodes, right?
Yeah, let's get you in there and doing it. And then how are you going to close out the giveaway? We'll just get those everyone in Discord and on the call here.
Well, we have given away some nodes on the Discord today. They don't even know that they have been given a node, but they will be given nodes, all of those people as well, right?
Nice surprise.
And we also gonna take the list out from everyone attending this webinar, and we will raffle the nodes out, and we will put the list of all those winners inside our Discord as well, and then we will forward all the information to you guys so we can get everything issued the correct way. What's very important to everyone is that the links for everything now is already in the back office, right? It's already put live in the menu under the game section. We're gonna create rooms on Discord for Element as well, like we do with all our partners. So and we're gonna upgrade Chris inside here, so he will be changing color in there to partner.
I'm chatting right now with you. If you guys jump on Discord, I'm in the Element room right now. I'm already chatting you. So get in there and start pinging me.
Yeah, you already have an Element room there?
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are so professional, you know. David and Scott were like, well, these guys are so professional and everything's so well put together, you know. They are. Here comes everybody.
Good. Yeah, so so I just want to wrap this call up now and take it from there. And I want to thank you all for taking time to come on this call. It's been an awesome call. 1,000 people, super excited. If all the people on this call now talk to two of their teammates, and we're gonna have a good node sale going on.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Frody. We appreciate you guys. Happy
Thank
to
you. I'll
happy
put
to
the-
be working with you guys.
I'll put the link in Discord, everybody, if you missed it. It's elementunited.com/Daxio. And I'll put the link in Discord, and come in there and ask me questions and whatever you want. I'll be here all night.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.